Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today. And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their now healthy quarterback at 29 years of age in his 7th season out of Stanford, Andrew Luck. And the big news for the big passer from Stanford in 2018, a clean bill of health. Missed all of 2017 after complications from shoulder surgery. And this is a guy who had 40 touchdown passes in 2014. Anything even approaching that number could drastically alter the future of this franchise. Here's Luck. And his first pass is incomplete. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And that'll bring up second down. And here are the Colts offensive starters. T.Y. Hilton's the guy that I'm going to be keeping a big eye on because when you've put together 4 straight Pro Bowls, led the NFL in receiving yards 2016, you know the 2017 yards were an aberration, okay? He was less than 1,000 yards receiving. Inconsistent quarterbacking play, but I think he bounces back big in 2018 and beyond. Too darn explosive. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6. The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start. And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly. Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown. Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Luck. And his first look is incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack. And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Locke. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work.
Let's go.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Oh, what a move. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. On 1st and 10, Davis. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. These two teams, Colts and Seahawks, they met on a Sunday night a season ago. It was actually the Colts with a 5-point lead at halftime, but then the second half flipped the script. Seahawks exploded, outscored Indy 36-3 on their way to a 46-18 victory. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Wilson. The tight end Dixon left side. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming them.
And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Baldwin's first catch going to be good enough for a 1st down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Anthony Walker in there to get him for a loss of 5. That's a good sign early for the Colts, who had just 25 sacks last season.
People talk about putting an emphasis on an area of need. That's showing that the emphasis is paying off. Going ahead and getting to the quarterback early. When you only have 25 sacks in a season, that's not going to get you to the playoffs.
That was 31st in the league.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Wilson escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Colts pick it up. He had gained really good yardage. That's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the second.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 29. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possessions.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Flush to his right, and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He may be playing free safety while wrapped up in a corner's body, but Earl Thomas is the best center fielder in the game. He cleans up everything back there as far as I'm concerned. I think he just has intelligence, understands things, and boy, is he tough.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though,
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Returnable for Lockett. A very good return that time. 18 yards. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Eluding the pressure right. Good move at the 30. And a great move again. And he'll be taken down deep into Indianapolis territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
On 1st down, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. Punching it in from a yard away. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Well, not content with the first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep. Those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
To throw on second down is Locke. And his pass incomplete. Ryan Grant the intended target. And it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Throwing on third down, Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball. And
that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Staying on the ground with Mack. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. So he gets an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And how happy is he that he's able to get that second chance so quickly after the first miss, gets his confidence back up, and who knows, they may need him for an even bigger kick later in the game.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Oh, look at the Jew. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Wilson on first down. Flush to his right. And some space here. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And he's brought down after a good gain. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And shoves him off at the 20. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Come on, let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. Now Wilson on second down. Flushed out. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. On third down, that's Carson. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Luck now on second down, and that is incomplete here. The Colts on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, boys, got 4 down.
Now it's Luck off the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Robert Turbin, 40 yards. And it's for pride now, but the Colts get a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. Lockett the return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. John Simon in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know
he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd down, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
A lot of times people want to recreate the past, especially when the past has been successful. When the Colts were good, they flew on defense. And Kamoko Toure out of Rutgers, he can do exactly that when he rushes the passer.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's the Seahawks on top here early. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And the pressure gets to him again. Margus Hunt. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. They'll indeed go for him with Wilson. He may try and run for this. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
On second down, here's Locke. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's third and short. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 42 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. John Simon in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. John Simon getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
We'll see if he can look and do some soul-searching now. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything.
And from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And now the spin. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games, and some spectacular ones.
He has showed up time and time again. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit. The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
4th down, here's Wilson. And that is going to be incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, the head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now Mack, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 39. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern, maybe some ball was hit. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
That one goes for 24 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend, and nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
They go play action here on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ed Dixon, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. That will carry from Mack. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the gun, here's Love. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And it's 3rd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these... And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and
he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He's at the 40. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone, do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think? Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Now it's over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Oh, he did it again. Oh, it spins again. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey.
Wilson on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing is Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. A run by Mack to start the drive. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll run the back. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
A shotgun snap for Luck. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Now it's Lockett. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Wilson now on 1st and 10. Flushed out right. Caught right side. Jerron Brown. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And it's incomplete. It's a dangerous pass. That's what it was. And it brings up 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Baldwin. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Come on, tempo, tempo.
Again, Wilson rolling to his right. Room here to run. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
19.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a 2nd, but you're right, not to be. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. And the Colts getting ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit, he's
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The former first-rounder, Barkevious Mingo. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. 3rd and long, it's Locke. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. On 1st down, it's Locke. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On 1st and 10, Locke. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Locke on 2nd down. And incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Terry's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is fielded at the goal line. Dances by him. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Come on, tempo, tempo.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson in the final seconds of the first half. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Out to kick is Janikowski. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL and give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go to work. Come on. Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
On first down, Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Flush to his right. And he gets it down to the 32. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Now it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Tempo.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Flushed out right. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Escaping the pressure right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the gun on third down, Luck. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle, 39 yards. And the Colts gain a bit of respectability. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Vinatieri now to tack on the PAT. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. Lockett the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his prize.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. John Simon. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Luck on 1st down. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Jaron Reed in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's Luck. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. And some room to roam now. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Come on, let's go. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game, and so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. They go play action here on first down. Keeps himself upright, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Jaron Reed able to disrupt yet another pass play, his third sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Luck. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's Luck. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he's brought down after a good gain. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. But he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Wilson, blitz coming, and down he goes. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions, because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. sometimes they just get it to them right away because they have the matchup advantage.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Wilson throwing on 1st down, sliding out of the pocket, and Dixon over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Throwing is Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there, taking it in. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Oh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams,
now a hit, and lost the football. It's out.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Oh, he slipped right by him. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On 1st down, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Now a first down throw. Luck toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing on third down, Luck. And that's incomplete. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. This from 42 yards out. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity was something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, a season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ball game.
Let's go, let's go.
Throwing on first down. Wilson escaping the pressure right. Ooh, with a juke. A second fake. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
An incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Here's Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That last catch, a big one, folks. He's now gone over 300 yards receiving in this game. It is a game for the ages. On first and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. 7
yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action.
Definitely. Let him get outside.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there, taking it in from a yard out. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he's got the juice. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just 5.
And he lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Hey, tempo.
On 1st down, Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
On 1st and 10, Locke. Now they go screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
We got 3.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Returnable for Lockett. No, an empty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
What part did they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and observe the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A shotgun snap for Locke. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far. But it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Oh, Wilson going to throw, eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On 3rd down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Now Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. And some room to maneuver. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.